Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's have a look at what we've got. Okay. Okay. So we could have two elements, one radial gradient, and then on this element we've got one radial gradient possibly, and a border maybe. Not sure if we can. Might have to do this as a conic gradient, then radial gradient actually. That might well work. Yeah, okay. Let's use two elements. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Then let's do body with a background of a radial gradient. That does look like it's in the middle, so we use this color for 10 pixels radius, and then this color for 0. We also make that one cube to make it a circle. Okay, 10's not big enough. How about 20? 20 work? 20's good. Okay, now let's take the first P. Let's give that some margins of 50% down. Oh, no. Okay, that's going to move my radial gradient. I don't like that. Let's make that body instead, just to stop that from happening. Then 20. We might actually have to set an at on this. So 200 pixels, 100 pixels. 150 pixels. Make the height of this 50% maybe. We'll give it a background of red temporarily. Okay. Now then, the left margin actually wants to be -8, and the top is going to want to be something bigger than that. We don't want any margin on the bottom, and from the right we want, well, that'll be left, so actually leave that at -8. This is going to be 230, 40, 2. Then if we actually make the height 150 instead. Okay, and then we just need to move it down 70, 80, 90. 150 would be, that is perfect. Okay, then we want a border radius of 20 pixels, no, 30 pixels. Then is it 0, 0, 0? Okay, that's 30 pixels. Wants to be here maybe? No. Wants to be there. And this one can be 0. Okay, now we've got that to match. Okay, now if we make this background a conic gradient and we start it at so we know that's 150, so how big is that? Right, they're 30 wide, so we do at, now then, how wide is the, so 120, right, so 120 pixels in, 30 pixels down, then we make it this color for 50%, and then this color for 75%, and then white again for the rest. That should give us a fairly decent, do that, that will get us most of that bit. Then all we need is a radial gradient on top of that, which will be, I think the center is going to be at 120 pixels, and likewise 30 pixels, and we want to make it this color for the same size as the white one, so 20 pixels, and then transparent, and that gets us that shape. Now then, its bottom margin, can I do anything with the bottom margin to put it into the right place? I don't think so. So do P plus P, margin minus 150, 242, no, minus 8, 0 and 242, and that gets us like that. And then we want to scale it in the in the X direction, so minus 1, 1. That gets us that. That should, hopefully, so let's just get rid of that, that. Hit submit, see how close we are. And that is a 100% match. Right, is there anything that we can take out of here? If we did P for position and had this in there, then we can use var P. I'm not sure whether this is going to be less characters or not, so we'll just, I think that's actually more characters, so that is not a good way to go. Yeah, that's more characters, so let's not do that. Let's get rid of this line. Okay. Are there any other ways we can make this smaller? Well, if we could make the white 75, so if we started from minus 90 degrees, does this help at all? That might needs to be in the front, maybe. Then we can start. Do I want minus 90 degrees? How about if I start it from 90 degrees? And then our first colour isn't blue, so I think we actually need to start it at 270. Let's change these numbers first. Make that 75 and then make that a 0. There we go. Now, does that save us any characters? That saved us a whole 2 characters. Whoa! Minus 90 is going to be the same number of characters, I do believe. Yeah. So that isn't going to help, but that's slightly better. 120 pixels is 3/4, so it's or it could be 4/3. So we can do 30 VW and 30 VW. We could have used 40 VH, but either way, it doesn't make a difference. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and that, and that. And 200 is obviously 50 VW, and that's 50 VH. Why has my... oh, took out the wrong... there we go. Any more for any more. Do do do. Because well, but even at 50%, that's going to be the same number of characters, so let's not bother. Let's minify and submit. 622 isn't a great score. Is there any other way that we could have done this? I don't think there is. So I think that's where we're going to leave that today. And then very shortly I'll go and watch Joe Crawford and hit myself in the head because he's done it a much better way. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.